In the very mammoth AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. A moment ago, here was the scene with the Cowboys emerging from their tunnel. It was loud. It's still loud. We're ready for football as the Cowboys get set to match up with Drew Brees and the New Orleans Saints. Here's Will Lutz ready to get this one started. And we are underway from AT&T Stadium. That'll be taken in the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Here's the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Cole Beasley, the intended target, and it's third down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Prescott to throw it. Hard throw, incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. This is taken at the 18. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. On 1st and 10, here's Brees. Drops this off to Kamara out of the backfield. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and it'll make it a second down. The first carry now. This is Alvin Kamara. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Brees now on first down. He gets this one complete to Tre'Quan Smith. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Brees on the draw, gives to Kamara. And he'll get it down inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Now Brees. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack.
Well, nothing takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
21. Here we go.
On 3rd and long, it's Brees. And he's got a man open. That's Marshall. It's so close. He gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Great mix of play calling so far. 3 runs, 3 passes. All 3 passes have been completions. 1st and goal.
I think on defense now, you have to almost take a chance. Rely on your scouting. Pick a play you think they would run here and just load up for it and see what happens.
Ready. We're waiting.
Try to pound it in, Kamara. And he is not going to get through here on try number 1. They stop him at the goal line. Call it no gain, and it's going to be 2nd and goal. Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal.
Sammy!
They get it to him running left. And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Saints football to begin quarter number 2. And they'll come up looking to keep this drive moving. This Cowboy defense trying to hold them out of the end zone. They've run it to 3rd and goal. They'll run it with Kamara. So he got free of 1 tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. Only a yard that time, so now a decision to be made here on 4th and goal.
How about the fellas with the stars on the side of their helmets rising up on defense? We always hear about the Cowboys' rushing offense. Their rush defense is pretty good as well, I think, because they're so cohesive. Defensive line, linebackers really work well together.
Here we go. Check.
Brees going to sneak it, and he takes it across and into the end zone. Touchdown, Saints. Drew Brees scoring on the sneak from a yard out. And the Saints are able to cash in for 6. Lutz good on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Lutz now to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Dallas getting the ball again here on offense, and the Cowboys haven't been able to build a ton of momentum if you look at their 2018 season as a whole, Charles. In fact, the first 7 weeks before the bye earlier in the year, it was kind of like flipping a coin. It was loss, win, loss, win, loss, win. So I don't know what you make of it. He's got a man complete. 20, 10. Touchdown, Cowboys. Amari Cooper, 78 yards. And the Cowboys are an extra point away from tying the football game. And that is how you retaliate after getting scored on one play. Big pass downfield, and you hit the end zone.
Almost feels like 2 boxers just throwing haymakers at each other, doesn't it? One connects with a big one, the other comes right back. Okay, I'll show you. And they attacked right back on the first play of the drive and hit them big.
So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. The dangerous Hill now to return. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The football going back over to the New Orleans Saints and a team this year, Charles, that really took off after that Week 1 loss. For me, it all came together Week 9. You think back to that game when they beat the Rams, knocked off their undefeated streak to start the regular season. So now, are the Saints really Super Bowl winning contenders? I mean, do you put them in that category?
I certainly do, and I think people were wondering how they would respond this season after what happened to end last season, the Minneapolis Miracle, where they ended up giving up the touchdown pass in the last play of the game in the playoffs. And when it started losing at home to Tampa Bay, many wondered if their psyche had really been affected, but they've regrouped since then. The defense is really playing well. And then there's always Drew Brees to Mike Thomas. and that is working very well for them.
Well, since you mentioned Michael Thomas, and we talked about that win over the Rams, never forget going to get the flip phone, Mr. Michael Thomas, channeling his inner Joe Horn from back in the day.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
Running with Kamara, and he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Oh, look at Thomas wide open. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A good pick up there of 20 yards. Bree's going to come up here, 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 5 for 5 here to begin the game. 2 minutes to play in a tightly contested first half. We're back to Arlington right after this timeout.
Sammy! Easy!
On 1st down, Breeze. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, Kamara. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a 3rd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
From the gun on 3rd down, Breeze. On the check down, he finds Kamara. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Here we go. Hey, left. Ready?
Breeze now. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Brandon Marshall, a 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Saints are able to cash in for 6. Lutz with the extra point. And that makes the score 14-7. Lutz now to kick this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Now the Cowboys offense heads back onto the field. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, we'll see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A very solid gain of 27.
Let's go, get out.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. He's got the connection to Cole Beasley. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half.
Let's go. Let's finish now.
A first down carry by Elliott. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
Off play action to Elliott. Here's Prescott. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also third down. They've been moving the ball well offensively, really getting into a groove. Last play, pass completion. Now, finally, the defense gets there.
And you have to find a way to disrupt their rhythm. Do you do it with coverage, or do you do it with pressure? They elected to go with pressure, and it was the right call.
Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete. Now let's see how the offense still out there. They elect to go on 4th and 11. Prescott off play action. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Cole Beasley as the first half is winding down. And the Cowboys are an extra point away from tying the football game. Point after, right down the middle. And that is going to tie our game as we approach halftime. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. The return man is Hill. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Saints offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Breeze now on first down. On the crossing route, complete. That's Thomas. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. One play has them up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. A final shot before half for Breeze. Looking long for Thomas. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Chidobe with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So thanks to the late touchdown, it's a tie ball game here heading to break. As we are off to Orlando now to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, and ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. The dangerous Hill now to return. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the third quarter. First half showed us some pretty good offense. Tie game, we'll see what the second half brings.
And it'll be interesting because I think both sides feel pretty good about what their offenses are doing. Got to wonder what adjustments are being made defensively to try and get a spark and maybe slow down the other side.
But here, do you change up anything on this opening drive?
Not offensively, you don't. You got everything going your way. You've probably prepared for maybe some change-ups you might expect, but overall, you like what your game plan's showing you.
Breeze to throw on second down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Sean Lee coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7. Well, there was second long. Now it's third and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
Working from the gun, it's Breeze. And that's complete to the right side. It's Marshall. And he will finally be taken down, but not before he reaches the 38. A big play for the Saints on third down. 43 yards. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. A 10th carry for Kamara. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Throwing now is Breeze. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Jalen Smith. And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line. He couldn't get the hook up there that time with Thomas.
Well, oftentimes when we get a chance to talk league-wide, we go offensive. We don't get a lot of defensive talk. But let's talk about some young rookies. I know you've told me Darius Leonard of the Colts has really impressed you.
He certainly has. He's impressed the entire league. I mean, at times he approaches 20 tackles a game. Sideline to sideline, end zone to end zone, out of South Carolina State. So you don't think about him, but you should. Derwin James with the Chargers, been as good as advertised at the safety position. Jair Alexander, the corner from Green Bay, missed a couple of games early in the season, but he got the attention of the New England Patriots brass before they played. They were really impressed with him. But Bradley Chubb is doing exactly what we thought he would do, chasing down quarterbacks. And Dante Action Jackson out of LSU with Carolina really knows how to ball hawk and take the ball out of the air and take it the other way.
Well, you were ready for that. That's a good list of defensive rookies right there. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. They go play action here on first down. Going to throw deep for the end. And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. Amari Cooper, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Cowboys turn that interception into a touchdown. Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead is now 21-14. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Now the Saints, they trot their offense out here, and there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Well, with that incompletion, Charles, I want to revisit our preseason Super Bowl picks.
Must we?
Well, we're getting closer and closer toward the playoffs. So
we have to revisit
who
them?
did you have? You had the Falcons.
I had Atlanta.
But you couldn't predict all those injuries the Falcons
Couldn't
had.
predict all the injuries, and heading into their open week, they had won 2 in a row, and then beat Washington after the open week. So all is not lost, but still enough guys are out that maybe it's not the best prediction. But I did have Pittsburgh, I believe, on the AFC side, and they are really starting to come on.
Sadly, I don't even remember who I had. I think it's going to sound like, oh, yeah, revisionist history. I think I had Rams and Patriots, so I'm going to stick with that.
That actually sounds familiar to me. I do believe you did have Rams in New England, and you are on track with those two teams.
The 3 straight incompletions, they don't care. That hasn't dissuaded them. They're going to go for it on 4th.
Hey, you ready? Left. Ready, watch out.
They do go for it. It's Breeze. Looking again for Thomas, this time complete. And now this is going to be close. The defense says they stopped him, and they did.
I don't know why you would do that. It's almost guaranteed points the other way. I mean, I get it if it's a late-game situation, maybe even 4th and inches. But, boy, that's a huge risk to take.
Yeah, now they're set up in prime position going the other way. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Play fake. Here's Prescott. He'll rifle this one deep right side. So they took a shot on first down but couldn't connect.
Let's give this defense some credit now. They let the guys get downfield, but when push came to shove, they stood their ground, and now they'll likely force a field goal attempt.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. On play action, Prescott letting one fly deep, and he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Ken Crawley. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Intended that time for Cooper.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
They begin on the ground with Camaro. And they'll get him down right around the 11-yard line. That one good for 10 yards. And it'll be 2nd and very short.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
Back now in Arlington. It's the Saints who hold the football, but they're trailing as we begin the 4th quarter of play. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10.
Sammy!
Throwing on 1st down is Breeze. He throws and he hits the slant route to Thomas. And brought down, but not before they're able to get it up to the 25. Give them 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. Breeze now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10.
11. 12.
From the gun, it's Breeze. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. He was trying to hit Thomas that time.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. Now Elliott. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it. They've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there. They're going to need to come up with something better here on 3rd and goal. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Prescott to throw it. And he fires one, but incomplete.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
A big one there. That gives them a little cushion and makes it a 2-score game.
Yeah, bled a little time off the clock, put some points on the board. It's not totally out of reach yet, but it has to feel pretty good to them right now because as a defender, you go out on the field and say, guess what? You can put some points on the board, but that won't beat us.
He had a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And the points, they have come fast and furious in this quarter.
You really don't want to be on the defensive side of the ball right now, do you? Because you're either thinking, my replacement may get an opportunity.
Your head better be on a swivel.
Totally. Or maybe I just need to get out of the game for a while.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Tyrone Crawford able to get him for a loss of about 3. Now Breeze throwing on 2nd down. Over the middle, open is Thomas. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's second down. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. On second down, here's Breeze. Drops this off to Kamara out of the backfield. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks. Now Breeze throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. Takes this to the 32, maybe the 31, and then the defense rallying quickly after that broken tackle. Well, this is how you shape the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident, keep flinging it. I'll just figure there's something wrong with the football.
He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. 7 yards on the play. Back to throw, Breeze. And it'll be second, and he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. A great effort there. A 15-yard touchdown grab. And the Saints are back within a score. Lutz good on the extra point. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. So a minute and change to go, and this is going to be an onside kick. And the Cowboys are able to recover. A tough one there. They certainly wanted that when they needed it, but they didn't absolutely have to get it. They still do have 3 timeouts.
You're exactly right. They had to attempt it. But even though they didn't get it, as you noted, with 3 timeouts, if they can get these stops on defense, all hope is not lost.
Throwing here, Prescott. And this one is incomplete.
Well, they're slinging it, and then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown, out of his reach, and incomplete. Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. Here's Prescott. And Beasley with it over the middle. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. A very solid gain of 27. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
And he's brought down. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at him and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense. And on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. They'll try to run it in with